Alright, so tonight we're going to install battery boxes, a couple new batteries, and they're down here in the aft cabin, and I haven't done any cleaning in here yet. And, still some raccoon prints from the early days. And yeah, so let's see the batteries. This is the battery box here. So yep, we got a couple new ones. This one's dead, and this one I've drained a few times right to zero, and it's not leaking that much. So yeah, there's another footprint. So yes, I'm gonna get things situated. I guess I gotta get the water out of here first. You got still a bit of water in here. I'll have to go grab the shop vac. All right, got the vacuum. Yeah, well, there are a couple drain holes in the bottom of this battery box, but they're plugged up. Let's see. Turn the batteries off. Thanks. Well, I'm gonna run up front and turn the charger off. For some reason that negative side is really cooking. Okay. Alrighty, couple dead batteries, or old batteries out. Give that a scrubbing down in there, and see if we can spruce it up a bit. Power washer out there's mad. Oh goodness. That greaser. There's a bit of a vapor that'll get to you. Alright, well that puppy is clean. I put a couple lead clamp style connectors on there, battery post connectors, so I gotta take them off. Because the batteries I have are threaded posts like they should be, and I got battery boxes, so I'll get those set up. So these were the battery boxes that were in it. Just like everything else, they just need a cleaning. So I'll eventually get the straps cleaned up and put back in there. But for now, I'll just do these. Okay, get rid of these guys. Okay. Got a few wires here, but not too many to keep track of. Okay, battery. Okay. All right. Apparently, the rule is you put the smallest terminals on the bottom and then stack them up to the biggest, and then use the biggest one to push everything else down. That looks pretty good. I'll just remember that that one goes on there too. I think that's probably from the charger. Yep. You can take the go handles off too, but they're like for a car or something if they're in the way. But it's a long ways to carry a battery with no handles if something goes wrong. Okay, it'll be nice when I get the straps on. Okay. All right. Well, it's a battery project. It's a battery selector there. I'm going to leave it off. I'm actually going to disconnect the battery charger as well. There's something going on with it. If you wiggle the wires around a little bit, it jumps all over the place. So I think one of the wires has come loose inside. So I'm going to pull the cover off of it, but I'm going to disconnect it from power for now. All right, well, we'll go take a look at that. All right, well, working on the Carver. I'm going to take the swim platform off because it needs some fiberglass work. So it's survived a flood but got hung up on a wall, and when the water went back down, this thing slid off the wall and tore up the swim platform pretty bad, and the brackets are broke, disconnected, and trim's coming off, so it needs some work. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Pull it off and kind of get it prepped a bit for some layers of glass. I'm not really good at fiberglass work. I've done a little bit in the past, but this is going to be a learning experience for sure. I was originally going to do the fiberglass and while it was on, but I got to work upside down in that. I'm not much into doing that. So it's springtime in Ontario here, so farming is pretty active, getting ready for the big spring panic. So I'm not really involved with the farming at all, but if they need help fixing something, I am here for that. Okay. Oh, I see. Straight screwdriver. So it's got screws into the glass, and then the screw holes are filled with wood plugs. So probably easiest to work on that while it's up here. This, I think this got hung up as well. It's pulled the nuts right through the back layers of glass. Let's take a look here. So, yeah, that's a mess. That's been broken. It's pulled up through this bracket. It's pulled right through the glass. What is that? Is that a light? That looks like it might be a light. That's cool. So, what are the chances all those are going to spin on the inside? Yeah, pretty strong. So yeah, I don't know what these brackets are supposed to look like. I think they're supposed to have a bit of a bend in here. Maybe not. That one, I don't know. But they all seem pretty consistent, but the platform does dip down a bit, so I'm not really certain. But yeah, we'll continue ripping parts out. Alright, still working on getting this stuff apart. Ooh. Very nice. Alright, let's take a look at this thing and see what we're working against here. So, a number of these supports are bent. I'll have to figure out what the proper shape is. Trim tabs broke off. Depth finder, nav, speedometer's busted off. Kind of like the stripes that used to be on it, original stripes. The rudders and the props are untouched as far as I can tell. Steers right, steers properly. And the swim platform, one of the braces pulled through there. This mount is rotted through. That one's rotted through. So I think I'm going to have to dig the wood out of all these, slide another piece in, and then re-epoxy it. I've done that in the past. This is broke and delaminated, let's say. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of work, but it's going to be a fun little project. Alright, so we're working on this swim platform now that got all busted up, and I had some ideas, but I think what I'm going to do is just cut off this edge, pry it open, and see what core is damaged inside there. But essentially what I'm going to end up doing is just pour some thickened epoxy in there and then clamp it and see if that holds it together, and then reglass this edge here. So I'll draw some lines and just cut some of this edge off here, and not much, because I don't want to rebuild the whole thing. And yeah, that texture is hard to duplicate, and there are some spots that's going to have to be patched, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on it. But yeah, so I'm going to split it open, cut off this damaged edge, just the front part. I'm going to leave the back because it's quite a bit thicker and it's in good shape. Pry it open, pour some epoxy in there, clamp it, let it set up, and we'll see how that works. Alright, well, we've moved the operation outside so that we don't have a fiberglass dust down the inside of the building. working on the Carver, and got the swim platform off, of course, and I just dug out the worst of the glass and the cracks and that. So I'm gonna, that's where the table goes. So I'm gonna dig out whatever bad core I can, whatever bad core there is around. And this is just plywood, and it's got rotten. It's just jammed in there and filled full of epoxy. This one's mostly gone already. But yeah, so I'm just gonna dig out the junk that's in there and figure out what my next move is. I gotta separate this and pull the core out and see how far back I can get that out, how much is damaged. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna work on. Alright, well, after a couple hours of digging, we got these 4 pockets emptied out, these mounts, and so I got some 1/2-inch marine plywood at home, so I'll bring that next time and get them all epoxied up, actually resin, and slip them in there. Get that done, and then I'll stand it up and do the core. Figure out how much of that I gotta dig out. But it is definitely wet just past that, so probably a piece about 3 feet by a foot. But we'll see. All right.